Hi, good evening all. Thanks for all who has joined in. Myself, Rahul. I'm the product manager for CyberCyte from Bulldog. Welcome to today's webinar on CyberCyte EAR Blue Team platform to manage the unmanageables. Along with me, I have the co-panelist, Mr. Najati Vetugal, who is the CSO for CyberCyte. On today's agenda, we'll be discussing on it will be a quick introduction on Bulwark, value-added distribution for CyberSite in the region. We'll be discussing on how to enable immediate identification of security gaps. We'll also discuss how to create a consolidated visibility for assets, threats, and vulnerabilities for accurate prioritization. We'll also discuss on how to discover and remediate configuration gaps based on CIS, DOD, BSI, and MSFT security baselines. We'll also discuss how to create a new visibility layer by integrating the forensic artifacts and audit data to enable security teams to identify complex threat patterns easily. Also, we'll be discussing on how to provide threat hunting, investigation, and forensic analysis process in a single solution that can be offered as an MDR service optionally. And last, not but the least, it's would be an interesting topic to how to execute ransomware and DLP effectiveness assessment, covering all the endpoint and servers. After a quick demo on the solution, we'll have a knowledge testing quiz, which will be followed by a question and answer session. Who are we? Bulwark is a value-added distribution in the region for information security solution. We have a 24 years of experience in Middle East and now in India for the last 7 years. Our company in Middle East is established in 1999. In India is established in 2017. We have 30 plus technology vendors with 700 plus business partners in Middle East and India. Bulwark has an established excellent track record in delivering world-class products and excellent customer service. Bulwark partners with best-of-breed technology vendors. We also offer award-winning products with excellent customer service. We deliver round-the-clock value-added services through our partner network across the Middle East, KSA, and Indian subcontinent region. We work as an extended arm of security vendors whom we represent in the region, promoting and selling the IT security products and solutions through our reseller channel partners. We also have dedicated sales, marketing, and certified technical team. Without further due delay, I'll hand over the presentation slides to Mr. Najati. Hi, Najati, over to you.
Thank you, Rahul. So I would like to say a great week first of all. I will first start with a presentation where we talk about the technology and then also do a demo of how the product is creating value. So let me share my screen. So some history about CyberCyte. So sorry, give me 1 second. We were founded in 2019 in London, UK. The objective was to create a platform for discovering and responding to risks more accurately, because in today's cybersecurity landscape, we are overwhelmed with flow of alarms and notifications, which is making it quite difficult to identify where our real problems are. Our investments are also continuously increasing in cybersecurity, but it is very difficult to measure how effective this investment is. We also aimed to create an infrastructure where we can effectively measure the effectiveness of this investment. What are the core challenges that we are currently facing? I think many customers, many MSSPs, if you are providing services to your customers, you are facing is alert fatigue. Every component that we add to the infrastructure is raising alarms and notifications, and because of this noise, we sometimes fail to identify the risk. In fact, many breaches happen because of this. The SIEM and the SOAR promised to overcome this, but they could not because they are processing repetitive data, and that repetitive data is containing a lot of noise. So additionally, on top of what the existing products generate, they also create the correlation alerts. Very often we end up with getting more alerts because of this. second very big problem that many organizations have is misconfigurations. In fact, they are the sweet spot for hackers, and 90% of applications OWASP tested had kind of a misconfiguration. When you look at the breaches, in fact, I think 99% is related to the end user or an application that is being misconfigured. Parallel to these problems, what's also happening is attacks are becoming more sophisticated, and it's very difficult to identify them as well. So in addition, the attacks are becoming more sophisticated as well. So what CyberCyte provides is a platform that we call CyberCyte Ear. The main objective is to manage the unmanageable. As I have explained, alert fatigue and misconfigurations is a core problem. Our platform will immediately identify the security gaps and create a consolidated analysis of the problems in the infrastructure. It unifies threat, hardening baseline, vulnerability, and asset information in a single platform. And using this information, we validate the effectiveness of the existing security infrastructure. So what is the unique proposition that we provide to your customers is that once they even do a POC with the product, they will see the security gaps immediately. And this will enable them to fix them in a much shorter of time. And the platform will create them a unique visibility layer for accurate risk prioritization. And it will unify the forensic artifacts with audit data, which currently they don't have. So security gap is one core highlight that they will be able to assess their infrastructure. And the second will be this new visibility layer, which they had no idea before, which I will come to its details during the demo. The CISO, cybersecurity business unit managers, and the associates are our core segments. In fact, we are now doing a large MSSP deployment, which is a very important use case, which I will explain briefly. So these are some use cases. Turkey's biggest energy distribution company, having 15 million subscribers, or maybe 20, preferred our technology to perform this gap analysis because in the scope of the POC, we were able to show them very strong value. When the product was deployed for POC in their test clients and servers, we were immediately able to identify the gaps, which provided them a very unique visibility. A very big global manufacturer is also a major customer. A very big hotel group, now Finansbank, a bank with 500 branches, owned by Qatar National Bank, also preferred our solution. Turkey's biggest entertainment group is again has just preferred our offering. Their technology company is an MSSP, serving 100 plus organizations, 100 plus customers, and their technology division, their technology company will use our platform in their SOC to identify and to consolidate all this critical data from their customers. They own the biggest brands of Turkey, like Nusret, Günaydın, hotels, ports. I mean, all major luxury consumption is managed through this group. Turkey's biggest, again, manufacturer of kitchen goods, exporting to 100 plus countries, also again chose us for the especially automated security control automation part, which I will come to its details. In Dubai, Petrofac is a major customer, and we are constantly adding new customers to our platform due to especially these differentiated features. So what is the platform? What does it provide? It is basically what we call CyberCyte here is a blue team platform. So what's a blue team platform? Blue Team platform is an infrastructure where we can identify and consolidate security risks and respond to them. So it's not only about identification, it's also about response. Because a big problem in today's cybersecurity landscape is fixing our problems. Many tools tell the problem, but how to fix that problem. So our platform consolidates all that life cycle in a single infrastructure. How does it work? It also works quite different. As I have previously indicated, the log data is repetitive and creates many uh, false positives. So we collect a different kind of base information to start our analysis, and they are forensic artifacts. And one big difference of them is that they also tell about the history of that machine. That enables us to do historical analysis. So the platform collects forensic artifacts and inventory, asset data, and it groups them under threat, vulnerability, and hardening uh, parts in these three groups. Once this grouping is done, then the platform starts analysis. What it does is it executes forensic artifact-based threat hunting. So through Sigma and Yara rules, which are open standards in the cybersecurity ecosystem, because of this extremely rich and powerful, it tells us possible risks, not only threats, but anything that is unknown or that is indicating an uncompliance can be identified through these rules. So compared to traditional approach, these rule sets enable us to execute scenarios, and based on these scenarios, we are able to identify what could create a risk in the future. Again, based on this information set, we provide continuous security gap analysis. So what happens is, for many organizations, is they take every 6 months a gap analysis from a company, right? Of course, that's valuable, but through the platform, we make that continuous. Through an offered module, we assess the health states of the EDR and DLP, which I will come separately, but it's extremely critical that these two tools work with high accuracy, because if they're not working accurately, it can be a core reason why a breach happens. And we have a very different approach to this assessment. We identify any unknown behavior, and we enable security teams to pinpoint that behavior very fast and very accurately. This is especially very valuable for large organizations, where it is extremely challenging to identify these unknown behaviors, because there can be many false positives when you look to the unknown behaviors. We enable we make it possible to minimize that investigation time. So for organizations having a very security tight infrastructure, this capability is extremely valuable. A tool designed for classification and whitelisting to tell them what is unknown in a few hours is very powerful. Based on that collected information, as I have said, we collect the forensic artifacts. So a breach happened 6 months ago, but no one realized. It becomes possible to identify, because these caches tell us what has happened in the past. The Yara rules that we run identify any file which can indicate a breach, like a SAM dump of the password hashes, like some tools used by hackers. As I've said, it's not only about identifying something malicious, it is about identifying anything which can indicate a risk. Through this analysis, we minimize the attack surface, and we enable the security configuration to be compliant to the CIS benchmarks, which has now become a category in Gartner called ASCA. ASCA is Automated Security Control Assessment. So the objective here is to identify misconfigurations in the infrastructure and fix them, not only report them. So CyberCyte is a platform where these vulnerabilities, these misconfigurations can also be fixed. This is what I have, just summarized in previous slides. So, what is the new visibility layer that we provide, which is a big value for security teams? We start with analyzing artifacts, processes, object access, and file creation is analyzed and continuously tracked. Based on the behavior we see here, this activity from these three artifacts are enriched through a threat intel infrastructure that we provide, where we use 10 plus different providers like Sophos, like Alien Vault, Abuse, Fish Tank, OpenFish, and many others. If from threat intel we identify that uh, application or that file is unknown to threat intel, which is an extremely rare case, we then start to monitor its behavior. And we create an entry in the system where says this artifact executed this behavior, which is extremely valuable for the security team because they see the forensic information and the audit data information in a single entry. Otherwise, they would see a risky entry in their SIM, and they would even need to go to the machine to identify what that process or file is, because there are no details in the SIM explaining what that file could be, which I will also show in the product demo. Autoruns, running processes, installed applications, Sysmon, uh, macro executed by the users through Excel or PowerPoint or Adobe is tracked. All vulnerabilities are tracked. Network activity is tracked. The caches of the devices, precache, mcache, simcache, mcache, DNS cache, MFT, they are all tracked. The Linux inventory is tracked through Osquery. Our banking customers' requirement was to track IES handlers, which are often not tracked, but they could be a very important source of vulnerability. So we track IES ISAP handlers. So many artifacts which are extremely valuable to identify a threat, breach, or attack is monitored. And the platform creates a consolidated view. Just to give an example, for example, on the vulnerability front, we get the vulnerability information from Nessus, which I think used quite common. Then from the endpoints, based on the application list that we discovered, we enrich that through the National Vulnerability Database. So Nessus data is on this platform. That enrichment from application inventory is in this platform. ISAP handler vulnerability analysis is on this platform. So our customers only on the vulnerability front get a very consolidated view of their risks, which is normally distributed or many times not even looked at. We are the best Sysmon management platform in the world. Sysmon is a tool, is an auditing framework provided by Microsoft, developed by their Sys internals division. It is extremely important for special investigations because Sigma rules, which are provided from companies like SOC Prime, are extremely strong and rich. It's an open ecosystem which keeps growing and growing. Many security providers like Elastic, Splunk try to utilize Sysmon for investigations. But to use Sysmon, you have to manage and control it. And it's extremely, unfortunately, difficult to do this. So we enable the management of Sysmon. We install and we maintain and we configure it for you. The Sysmon provides a complete visibility for your Windows endpoints. It is the most detailed infrastructure which indicates any activity happening in the infrastructure. It enables the discovery of the false negatives of EDRs. It provides the best visibility for investigations. And if we are collecting the security logs of a Windows, it is Sysmon we should be collecting because it provides the data, the information we need, which is normally not managed. And all in the large enterprise projects that we carry out, Sysmon is a part of it. And these are very mature customers having Sentinel, CrowdStrike, or very mature EDR offering. So Sysmon is extremely critical for them, especially to run these threat hunting scenarios. And we are the best tool to manage that. Currently, operating systems are being covered. IES Apache is being covered for hardening analysis, and we are currently adding other platforms. Make will be available in 2 weeks' time, and other applications for CIS-based hardening will be available in a short time. As I said, we are a complete response and remediation framework. We can uninstall an application, we can remediate security controls and fix the problems in hardening. We can kill a process, delete a file, delete a service, maintain registry, execute any PowerShell command or script, or we can install, upgrade application. For example, again, in our customers, EDR is not installed, install it. Antivirus is not up to date, force an update. All routine maintenance of the security applications can be done through our platform. The solution is suitable for any size of an organization. As I said, Doğuş Group has more than 20,000 endpoints, so it's a large-sized MSSP, which we are currently actively deploying. On the other side, we are winning small MSSPs. They have 50 customers having 20, 30 computers, and they preferred us to offer this service to their clients because it's very consolidated, right? Threat, vulnerability, inventory, all critical information is here. Which is extremely valuable for smaller size organizations as well. So the range that our product is a match is extremely strong. Of course, organizations with computer size of from 1,000 to 10,000 employees is our good spot because they can decide faster and the ticket size is bigger. Finance, oil, gas, manufacturing, holdings, MSSPs. Currently, we have customers on all these verticals. Finance, bank, oil, gas, Petrofac, manufacturing, Tenneco, holdings, this Doğuş, MSSP, again, this Doğuş. So, what are our differentiators? We create a new visibility layer by unifying forensic artifacts and audit data. We validate the effectiveness of the current investment. We execute EDR and DLP effectiveness assessments covering all endpoints and servers. This is the key difference, in fact. From all endpoints and servers, we simulate a ransomware or a data leakage, and we see the results until your coverage rate is 97, 98%, whatever. The moment it is deployed, we identify the security gaps. On every POC we make, there are security gaps. And once the POC is engaged, the project turning to a reference is now nearly 100% because of this gap analysis capability. Again, for the mature organizations having a big a lot of investment, historical breaches. Discovery is also very valuable. They identify files which are not normally seen and which antivirus doesn't warn, like F-port. It's a port scanning tool. Antivirus will not warn you, but our platform will warn you for this. It's a complete and integrated platform. Our main objective is to become the main threat analysis and hunting infrastructure instead of the SIEMSO, where the remediation response also takes through to its infrastructure. All this information collected is mapped to standards like NIST, ISO 27001, and CIS. And the platform manages difficult to manage security applications which every organization wants to use, like Sysmon, Sysinternals applications, and Tor. So these are very valuable tools, but difficult to manage. We make them manageable. The platform is fully multi-tenant. So it is extremely good fit for a MSSP, and it is possible to consolidate. It's possible to consolidate different customers in a different tenant. So yes, it's multi-tenant, but critical events also consolidate in a single MSSP tenant. So for the MSSP, it's very easy to identify what is where. Also, it utilizes graph database technology, so we use lot less resource and less performance over it. So to this, I think the performance, the storage requirement that we have is maybe 100 times less than what a Siemens server would require, just to give an insight. Why it's beneficial for the MSSP is because it offers a new services to customers through a single platform, gap analysis, security control assessment, and forensic analysis. It utilizes significantly lower hardware and software resource. It minimizes the operational overhead. And as I said, it is to become the main platform for threat analysis instead of the SIEM SOAR because of what it can show in terms of threats, misconfigurations, and vulnerabilities, which is impossible to be seen through a SIEM platform anyway. So this is a question we face very often. Why use this platform when we have an EDR, NDR, XDR, all of these products in place? Why? We will identify new risks that they did not notice before. They will be able to discover unknown behaviors very fast. They will be able to do investigations in a shorter amount of time. Through gap analysis, they will see their problems. And as a new service, what's coming is to track zero-day exploited vulnerabilities. I think it will be available in just 2 weeks' time. Because we have all this information, we are to map this to zero-day and exploited vulnerabilities databases, which are currently available. And so not only we'll tell there's a new zero-day, we'll tell this zero-day or this exploited vulnerability is affecting your organization. And the customers will receive an email not being notified on this. Again, a very valuable additional service. So this was a short overview. And now I would like to also show the product. So this is the dashboard that you first see when you log in. On one single dashboard, the platform identifies malicious, critical, high-risk activity. And the platform makes it extremely easy to navigate through. We see here threats that we have identified through Sysmon threat analysis, Sysmon logs from Nessus, high-risk vulnerabilities, problems in application inventory, problems in hardening, risky object access, which is very interesting, which I will demonstrate shortly. Risks we identified through Sigma analysis, processes, auto-runs, the health state of the security software, and risky shares. So as you see, all data is available in a single console. And by just click on it, we can drill down and understand what's going on. So the system performed analysis and identified 9 movements which are malicious. So let's just drill down to see what they are. So malicious DNS request was detected through a process called scenario creator. So we can see here, of course, the details. What was that DNS request? And I want also to see the hashes or the signature for this behavior. So we see that a process called scenario creator made these malicious DNS requests. We can drill down through in-depth analysis to see what has happened. And how this process behaved. So we see that from this machine, Explorer was used to run an executable called scenario creator, and it did 7 critical activities. And let's see what they are. As you see, the system provided us a visibility on the risky DNS requests it made, and it atomically told us that this process made a malicious DNS request. Park domains, dead sites. So why very valuable for a bank? And many products will not shout, but will shout. There is a request to a dead site or a park domain. No one will warn except us. We'll say that there has been a risky DNS request to a park domain, because when I look to the details of this activity, I see that this site was malicious and hashes were unknown to the threat intel. So this is the power of the solution. Normally, by the way, for Sysmon, you don't have this information because, for example, we see that this malicious DNS request was made from this executable, and we see here their signature, parent signatures as well. So an unsigned executable was used to initiate this behavior. Again, very valuable. And normally, this data is not available. It is our platform which consolidates this information. So you see an entry which is normally impossible to see. And that entry enables us to identify and decide what to do with this behavior. Vulnerability scan results. For example, application inventory. We collect the application inventory, right? But what do we do with it? Just we use it in reports. We enrich that information and tell you that these two applications has a high risk vulnerability. So that's the power of this enrichment. Here we identified Docker 351 is used with a CVSS score of 9.8. We can remediate this. We can uninstall this application from this console. We can open a Windows shell to tackle with it and investigate. This is very powerful. The device is remote, not in the infrastructure, but it's possible to open a shell session to that device to work and make an investigation. Or of course, I can see the vulnerability details where the system will show us which CVEs was being matched. These were the CVEs that were matched, as you see. Hardening. Hardening was not done properly. Many organizations do the hardening, but they don't know if they did correct, right? We tell them if they did correct. Again, these are what has not been done correctly. Device guard, network access settings, WinRM was not configured properly, and in one click they can remediate. All devices remediate this. You just click once and it's done. All our customers remediate, especially high severity misconfigurations through this platform. Object access. This is a part I love. This is Windows audit log, okay, which every SIM collects. Object access is very important because it tells which documents has been accessed. Every SIM collects this, but it is just noise. What we do is something different. We take that data, which is event 4663 and 456, okay? As you see, this is 4666. But you see again here, the hash, the signer, and all this information, as you see. Signature, parent signature is here. This is extremely valuable. Normally, this information does not exist in this log data, right? The hashes, everything. It is added by us again. And we tell that in this example that the system, our system creates a honeypot file in every client and endpoint, and which, if an unknown process accesses this honeypot, we notify. And this has been the case, as you see. So honeypot was accessed through an unknown executable. As you see here, we collected the activity of object access, and we said that to the WinLogon registry, which is an important registry location, these unknown applications made an access. which were not permitted by us, like LAN-CVP, right? Very interesting, or this Evolute or Gomit or Real VNC. These applications I did not permit as an organization exist and access the log on key. Again, very valuable. So the system immediately told us of this huge data, what is critical and high risk. Windows shares. The system identified 2 shares which are not authorized, which we'll see shortly. We see here that shares were open to users with everyone access. Again, single click, you can disable this network share. Security software on these 2 machines, a security software was not running properly. Again, I can click and see. As you see, which is Defender. We can see which host has higher scores. The system tracks this activity. Historically, we analyze how the system has been doing. Is it improving or not? Which host has a higher risk, creating more threat activity, having more vulnerability? Of course, different kinds of dashboards exist. We map all these findings to GRC control through what we call evidences. So there's a GRC dashboard that we provide. What I really like is the threat intel dashboard. As I said, everything is enriched. And not only from artifact, we can go to, not only from artifact, we can go to what's going on. From the threat intel results, we see what's going on. For example, this is park domain activity. Which process accessed a park domain? We can just click. Let me see the park domain activity. We see that a very strange domain was used. A park domain was accessed, and of course we can just see where this originated. We identified these in these 2 logs, and if I click again, drill down. So again, very powerful, right? 2 ways. EDR DLP assessment is also our dashboard to tell our customers what's their EDR coverage, what's their DLP coverage, and what's total their score. This is also tracked historically. So devices failing ransomware test, devices failing data leakage test, risky honeypot access. Again, summarized to them on the fly, and they see ransomware assessments, DLP assessment results, risky file access, risky object access, which can indicate a ransomware or data leakage on one single dashboard is available. What's coming is also zero-day and exploited vulnerability tracking service is a new tab here, where they see the current zero-day and exploited vulnerabilities and its impact to their organization. So all of this is offered in a single console where they can assess how their infrastructure is doing. And to do this, we integrate with the right selected tools like Sysmon, Tor, Nessus, which we identify the critical tools to use to integrate and bring all this data as a completely new visibility layer, which is extremely valuable. So this has been a short overview. Maybe there will be some questions, so I will be very happy to answer them.
Hi, Kati. Yes, I can see some questions here. The first question being how all the endpoints integrate to do this product. So this has been asked by Adsal to you.
Okay, thank you very much. So there, I think, yeah, and I see. Okay, so let me answer that one first. You don't need additional threat intel platform. It comes built in. Again, 10 plus integrations are already in place, which is more than enough. Because we are just looking for the unknowns, which we do. But if the customer has a threat intel, of course, we integrate we integrate that to this platform as well. Not only Windows, for Linux also we have full support. Mac is also coming. And for Linux, we are working with a bank having 2,500 Linux servers. It will be a very innovative way of operation because they don't want an agent and they don't want remote access. So we created an infrastructure where we collect this information through a cron job, which they love it. So for Linux, there will be a full feature support. And we are currently developing this, in fact, with the bank. It's complete, it's being tested right now. We support both agent and agentless for the deployment. But our customers all went with an agent so far because they did not want to give remote access through Windows RM. And our agent does not consume resource. It consumes, but it is negligible because what our agent does is it deploys tools like Sysmon, Tor, or other internal tools, runs them, and just collects the results. So our agent is just like a harmonization agent, which enables our customers to use the tools that they would normally want to use, but they cannot use. So we support both agent and agentless. It's the preference of the customer, but so far, when they see the performance consumption of the agent, everyone went with the agent. Also, we do network scanning. So through Nmap, we scan network, enumerate devices, their versions, and also mesh that to the vulnerability database. Through the integration with Nessus and OpenVAS, we do a network vulnerability scan. Again, collect all the inventory through these tools as well. So the endpoint integration is through agent or Windows RM, agent or agentless. No integration to Intel's platforms is needed, but if there's an investment, we just as an integration. It is based on a yearly subscription, yes. We also but yearly subscription, but it can be deployed on any level, on-prem, MSSP, or our cloud, all can be utilized. And is each device MAC address one license? Well, no. Network devices, firewalls, we don't count. We count Windows, Linux, Mac endpoints because we collect the devices that we collect the forensic artifacts. That's the key. And it's very, very, I think, the best way to do it. So it's quite, typically they tell us this is how much workstations we have, this is how much servers we have. But what I can tell you is about the platform, which I really like very much, is no exceptions so far. When it is deployed for a POC, there is always a gap that the platform identifies because they have a problem with vulnerabilities, hardening, or EDR DLP coverage. So that's the key value that I would say the platform would bring, which they did not see it before, right? I mean, they don't have the complete visibility for all of these aspects.
So the next question we have from Atsal would be, do we need to integrate threat intel platform to this product separately, or threat intel feeds is the inbuilt capability of this product?
It is built in. It is fully built in, but we can, if there is additional platform that they use, it can be added here as well, but normally not needed.
All right. The next question we have from Muhammad Jamshed Rauf would be, only Windows client can be managed?
Windows, Linux, Mac, all.
The next question from Muhammad himself would be CyberCyte solution is based on a yearly subscription
Yes.
or what?
Yes, yearly subscription.
And
This is yearly
each
subscription.
device MAC address is equal to one licenses.
Not always. It's about where we collect the forensic artifacts. Currently, these are workstations and servers. So we look at workstations and servers for licensing.
All right. Thanks, Nikati. We are still would request our audience to please kindly address all the questions in the chat panel to all the
Sonali,
panelists.
if something is there, they can send the mail because we are running short of time.